Wang Lin and Qing Shui were suddenly attacked by two rays of purple light that burst out from underground. One ray flew toward Wang Lin while the other pierced through an old man, instantly destroying both his body and origin soul. The purple light then illuminated the entire world, completely suppressing the blue light sealing the realm. Qing Shui immediately activated the recovered power of his Ji realm with his blood-red finger, causing it to collide violently with the purple light in a heaven-shaking explosion. The purple light was forced back and transformed into a middle-aged man with purple hair whose eyes were filled with killing intent. Qing Shui immediately recognized him as Ling Yunzi, the realm master of the Slaughter realm. Ling Yunzi sensed the Ji realm aura and realized that the treasure belonging to his wife was in Qing Shui's possession. Believing Qing Shui had not fully recovered after his resurrection, Ling Yunzi relied on the Slaughter realm's damaged pseudo-Nirvana void treasure, a realm-protecting treasure bestowed by the Alliance's Grand Elder upon the first realm master. To confront him, he released 6 clones from the surrounding purple mist and charged toward Qing Shui. The two Ji realm experts clashed inside the vast purple mist as thunderous explosions echoed continuously and an icy aura filled the battlefield. Meanwhile, Wang Lin noticed another purple light containing Ji realm power flying directly toward him. Without hesitation, he retreated while activating his ancient god power. The ancient god stars between his eyebrows rotated as he condensed an illusion of the ancient god royal weapon, the god-slaying spear. Although only an illusion, the spear instantly collided with the incoming purple light, creating a terrifying explosion whose shockwave spread across the battlefield and killed many cultivators unable to escape. The illusionary god-slaying spear remained completely intact, only slightly dimmer than before, proving that the ancient god royal weapon could resist this level of Ji realm power. Wang Lin sighed inwardly that with his current cultivation he could only create an illusion, while the real god-slaying spear still remained in Tuo Sen's possession. After putting away the spear, Wang Lin merged with the world once more and continued silently hunting Slaughter realm cultivators. At that moment, fewer than 100 Slaughter realm cultivators remained alive. They simultaneously formed hand seals and activated the Slaughter realm's hidden formation. 11 enormous sword buildings immediately collapsed, releasing 11 rays of crystal light that instantly locked onto Wang Lin. Inside each crystal light was a silver flying sword forged by the first realm master from heavenly metal and refined within the Slaughter realm for countless years. Each sword contained countless vengeful souls, possessed astonishing killing intent, and had already begun developing its own treasure spirit. As the 11 swords relentlessly pursued him, Wang Lin's eyes shone with excitement rather than fear. He judged that every one of these swords surpassed the 4 swords forged by Ling Tianao, and if he could eventually collect all 99 swords of the Slaughter realm, he could create an incomparably powerful treasure capable of rivaling Ling Tianao's sword array despite the difference in cultivation. Wang Lin immediately realized Qing Shui had intentionally brought him here not because he required assistance, but to allow Wang Lin to plunder the Slaughter realm's treasures as repayment for his help inside the void. At that moment, 3 powerful cultivators finally revealed themselves. 2 were at the mid-Nirvana scryer stage, while the third was a late Nirvana scryer elder who had hidden himself until now. The elder immediately released 4 crystal-clear white jade gourds from his storage bag and respectfully requested the treasured celestial gourds to kill Wang Lin. Milky white mist poured from the gourds and condensed into the graceful figures of 4 beautiful women that floated toward Wang Lin. Beside him, one cultivator struck his forehead and released a black core that transformed into the water of 10,000 lords, expanding into a vast black ocean that surged toward Wang Lin. The other cultivator activated the bloody celestial net by forcing countless bloodlines out of his own body, weaving them into a gigantic blood-red net that descended upon Wang Lin. At the same time, the remaining Slaughter realm cultivators unleashed all of their spells and treasures together, coordinating a full-scale assault while Wang Lin was being chased by the 11 flying swords. Facing the overwhelming attack, Wang Lin calmly spat out the 18 Hell Celestial Sealing Stamp. As the treasure appeared, countless roars erupted from within. With a single point of his finger, he completely unsealed all 18 layers of hell and cast magic arsenal. Endless soul fragments flooded the battlefield, including the Blood Ancestor's soul, whose furious roar shook the surrounding heavens. Wang Lin completely ignored the attacks from the cultivators and concentrated solely on capturing the 11 flying swords. His figure flashed backward instead of advancing, and he suddenly reached out with his ancient god hand to seize one of the crystal lights. The sword immediately released tremendous resistance that caused pain even to Wang Lin's ancient god body. Although he poured both origin energy and ancient god power into his grip, he was unable to crush the crystal light. Instead, tens of thousands of twisted vengeful souls burst out from within the sword and attempted to devour him. Wang Lin merely sneered, showing no fear because soul-related techniques were his greatest specialty. A vortex immediately appeared between his eyebrows as his ancient thunder dragon origin soul emerged with a thunderous roar. The roar shook the heavens, causing endless heavenly thunder to gather from every direction until the entire slaughter realm transformed into a world of thunder. Countless bolts of lightning descended as though all thunder beneath the heavens had acknowledged Wang Lin as their ruler. The terrifying display even interrupted the battle inside the purple mist. Shui looked toward Wang Lin with admiration, while Ling Yunzi's expression became increasingly gloomy. Holding the crystal light firmly in one hand, Wang Lin summoned all of the surrounding thunder onto it and roared, "Yield for me!" Under the overwhelming pressure of the heavenly thunder and the ancient thunder dragon's authority, the tens of thousands of vengeful souls immediately abandoned all resistance. Their previous ferocity disappeared and was replaced by fear and submission. The crystal light finally shattered, revealing a 7-foot silver sword engraved with the number 9. The countless souls obediently returned to the sword, which emitted a gentle hum and completely acknowledged Wang Lin as its new master. Wang Lin obtained the first flying sword, a 7-foot-long silver sword that emitted moonlight like radiance. After leaving his divine sense mark on it, the sword acknowledged him, released a loud sword hum, and circled around him with sword energy. Pleased with its quality, Wang Lin immediately pursued the next flying sword. The surrounding cultivators were unable to stop him because Magic Arsenal had summoned countless souls to fight them while endless heavenly thunder continued to bombard the battlefield. Wang Lin seized a second flying sword, but it resisted fiercely as if humiliated by being captured. While it struggled and released sword energy, the remaining 9 flying swords resonated together, merged into a single gigantic sword, and stabbed toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin sealed the captured sword with restrictions, stored it inside his bag, and faced the combined sword. The sword energy surrounding him was so sharp that it seemed capable of piercing his body and directly injuring his origin soul. At that moment, a middle-aged man in a red robe emerged from the distant slaughter realm as a streak of dark red light. He had hidden himself for a long time, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. Avoiding Qing Shui and wary of Shu Mu, he regretted not responding to the Alliance's summon for Nirvana cleanser cultivators, believing that would have spared him from such danger. Upon arriving, he commanded 4 figures created by 4 gourds to break through every obstacle and attack Wang Lin while he himself transformed into red smoke and rushed forward. Without hesitation, Wang Lin stepped past the fused sword and cast Call the Wind. 3 black dragons formed from black wind and charged forward. 1 dragon became entangled by the 4 gourd figures, while the remaining 2 attacked the red-robed man. The man laughed, dispersed into smoke, slipped between the dragons, and continued toward Wang Lin. He declared that Shu Mu must be hiding his true cultivation because only a Nirvana cleanser cultivator could survive unharmed while surrounded by so many illusory yin, corporeal yang, and Nirvana scryer cultivators. Hearing this, Wang Lin realized why he had never detected any Nirvana cleanser cultivators in the slaughter realm. His divine sense had not yet reached that level. Feeling the opponent's aura, he confirmed that it was far stronger than any Nirvana scryer cultivator yet weaker than the Nirvana shatterer old monsters. He recognized the man as an early-stage Nirvana cleanser cultivator, making him the second such opponent Wang Lin had ever faced after Blood Ancestor. Rather than retreat, Wang Lin decided to use this battle to test his true strength. Although calm on the surface, the middle-aged man was deeply cautious. Wang Lin appeared to possess only early-stage Nirvana scryer cultivation, but the man instinctively sensed a frightening aura from him and concluded that Wang Lin was concealing his true cultivation. Treating Wang Lin as an equal, the man gathered countless specks of origin energy from the world into his palm. Wang Lin immediately recognized this as the hallmark ability of Nirvana cleanser cultivators, the extraction of the world's origin energy. which allowed them to cast powerful spells without worrying about exhausting their own origin energy. The middle-aged man cast Hongzhe Desolate Sand, transforming the gathered origin energy into countless grains of black sand, each containing tremendous origin energy and powerful restrictions. Wang Lin responded with a punch empowered by his ancient god body. The ancient god stars beneath his third eye rotated rapidly, and a gigantic ancient god arm manifested behind his fist. The opponent then activated the law he had comprehended, the law of illusion. The endless sand condensed into an enormous fist equal in size to Wang Lin's and collided head-on with Wang Lin's ancient god punch. The collision produced a devastating explosion that sent a violent storm sweeping across the slaughter realm. Cultivators who failed to escape were dragged into the storm and shredded into blood mist. At the center of the clash, the sand fist collapsed back into grains, while Wang Lin's right arm became numb and racked with pain, forcing him backward. Wang Lin acknowledged the true power of a Nirvana cleanser cultivator. Meanwhile, the middle-aged man became even more convinced that Shu Mu was hiding his cultivation because no genuine Nirvana scryer cultivator could have resisted his illusion technique. The middle-aged man gathered the scattered sand again and transformed it into a gigantic sand crane, which cried out and charged toward the retreating Wang Lin. At the same time, another hidden expert emerged. A green-robed old man appeared from the ground, revealing himself to be Master Devil God. He explained that he had ignored the Alliance's summon and remained hidden to avoid trouble, especially because Qing Shui was present. However, seeing Master Empty Fantasy fighting Shu Mu, he decided this was the ideal chance to earn merit by joining the attack. Master Devil God had always been extraordinarily cautious. On his own cultivation planet, he had secretly spent thousands of years slaughtering cultivators and stealing their pills and treasures without anyone discovering his crimes. In the slaughter realm, he remained just as careful, believing this ambush was perfectly timed. As he rapidly closed in on Wang Lin, he unleashed his origin energy, causing space to tremble and distort, confident that Wang Lin would be unable to use spatial bending under such conditions. He attacked with killing intent. Just as Master Devil God launched his strike, a shocking change occurred. A miserable scream erupted from the purple mist, and 7 purple figures fell from the sky, one after another. 6 of the figures collapsed until only a single figure remained standing. Qing Shui's Ji realm unleashed a terrifying crimson beam that did not strike the purple-haired realm master but instead pierced through Master Devil God before he could evade. The attack instantly killed him, making him the first Nirvana cleanser cultivator to die so cleanly, and continued sweeping through the battlefield, destroying the bodies of countless surrounding cultivators. Witnessing the overwhelming power of Qing Shui's Ji realm, Wang Lin abandoned his plan to use his third eye and source origin energy against Master Devil God and instead immediately pursued Master Empty Fantasy. Meanwhile, Qing Shui collected the purple mist into a fist-sized sphere and retrieved a carved purple hairpin. His gaze softened while looking at the hairpin, but when facing the slaughter realm cultivators, it became cold and merciless. He declared that no one in a place he intended to slaughter would survive. The pale purple-haired realm master immediately sacrificed his own arm to force open a spatial crack and attempted to flee. Qing Shui declared that everyone deserved death for using the hairpin he had left for his deceased wife as a treasure and pointed forward, casting the celestial spell Mountain Crumble. 6 towering mountains appeared throughout the slaughter realm before instantly merging into one enormous mountain. Black smoke rose from its summit, followed by dark red flames capable of destroying all life. Massive rocks rained from the sky. Poisonous dust spread across the land. Magma poured from the mountain, and the entire slaughter realm descended into destruction. Countless weaker cultivators perished in the poisonous dust, while others were consumed by the magma despite their treasures and spells. The realm master's escape route collapsed under the spell's power, leaving him with no hope of fleeing. He realized that even the legendary 99 sword formation likely could not withstand Qing Shui's attack. Master Empty Fantasy immediately abandoned his fight with Wang Lin and hurled away the 9 swords, hoping Wang Lin would stop pursuing him to seize the treasures. Wang Lin did exactly that, retrieving the struggling 9 swords. Qing Shui then activated Mountain Crumble repeatedly. At his command of First Crumble, the flames and magma surged into the sky before exploding outward in devastating shockwaves that incinerated more than 10 cultivators. With Second Crumble, the mountain peak collapsed, releasing endless magma and fire. At third crumble, the entire mountain disintegrated, filling the heavens with flames, the earth with oceans of magma, and the air with poisonous mist. Miserable screams echoed everywhere as every cultivator in the slaughter realm except the purple-haired realm master and Master Empty Fantasy died. Even Master Empty Fantasy's origin energy rapidly dissipated, while the realm master realized Qing Shui had intentionally spared them for the moment. Every building in the slaughter realm melted without leaving a trace. Wang Lin watched in complete shock at the overwhelming power of the celestial spell Mountain Crumble. Qing Shui waved his sleeve and summoned 88 silver lights from the magma. He merged them into a single silver sphere and gifted it to Wang Lin because Wang Lin liked it. Wang Lin accepted the treasure and stored it inside his bag. Qing Shui then transformed into Black Wind, captured Master Empty Fantasy and the purple-haired Realm Master, and crushed the Slaughter Realm with one final step. Since the Slaughter Realm had been built inside a spatial crack within the Rain Celestial Realm, the collapse caused it to be completely swallowed by the void. A massive vortex appeared beneath Qing Shui, and before departing, he told Wang Lin that after their separation they might not meet again for a very long time and urged him to take care of himself. Qing Shui disappeared into the vortex together with his captives, while Wang Lin also left the collapsing slaughter realm through the vortex. Emerging among the stars, Wang Lin silently looked back before merging with the world and heading toward planet Tian Yun. Elsewhere, Qing Shui calmly traveled onward while Master Empty Fantasy and the purple-haired Realm Master followed behind him. Slave marks unique to the celestial realm shone between their brows, proving they had become his slaves. Qing Shui held the purple hairpin in his hand, and his expression gradually became gentle yet filled with pain and remembrance. He reflected that fate enjoyed tormenting people. Throughout his life, he had cried only twice before. The first time was when the nation of Clear Water was destroyed and his parents died, leaving him a weak cultivator who barely escaped death. The second time was when he went insane in the Thunder Celestial Realm and accidentally killed the woman he loved, filling him with endless remorse. Seeing the hairpin revived all those memories. It reminded him of the day he became Bai Fan's disciple and gave the hairpin to Han Yan. Those happy memories returned vividly, causing him to shed tears for the third time in his life while softly calling her name. Qing Shui remembered Han Yan's final moments. Even as she died, the hairpin remained deeply pierced into her heart while blood dripped onto the ground. She had told him that she did not die because of him but because of herself, begging him not to blame himself or spend the rest of his life in sorrow. To prevent Qing Shui from living forever in guilt after regaining his senses, she smiled and committed suicide before him during his madness. Her gentle yet sorrowful smile, filled with silent tears and unwillingness, awakened Qing Shui from his insanity. She had believed that the man she loved possessed an indomitable spirit. Someone who would never abandon his life because of a single tragedy but would instead continue living and use all his strength to uncover the truth behind everything. Filled with grief, Qing Shui quietly promised Han Yan that he would eventually discover the true cause of all that had happened. Wang Lin moved through space like an illusion. Instead of heading directly to planet Tian Yun, he decided to search for Lei Ji, the big-headed boy, and Ta Shan using the connections he still had with them. During the chaotic battle, he had been unable to pay attention to their safety. And after the battle he had entered the void and disappeared. Only after leaving the void did he finally have the opportunity to look for them. Although he had lost track of Ta Shan during the battle, the seal connecting them allowed him to locate Ta Shan without difficulty. Remembering that the three of them had not been directly affected by the battle, Wang Lin closed his eyes and spread out his divine sense. After searching for a long time, he sensed a familiar fluctuation far to the east. Calmly opening his eyes, he stepped forward. Ripples spread beneath his feet, and he instantly disappeared. As he traveled, Wang Lin reflected on the Mountain Crumble celestial spell. Although he had already expected Celestial Emperor Baifan's final 3 celestial spells to be more powerful than the first 3, Mountain Crumble had completely surpassed his expectations. He wondered what kind of profound comprehension Baifan had possessed to create such an overwhelming divine ability and sighed that he still had no idea when he would be capable of creating a celestial spell of his own. Far to the east floated an ordinary rock that had broken away from a destroyed cultivation planet. Small fragments continuously crumbled from its surface, while faint remnants of celestial spell fluctuations slowly dissipated around it like smoke. Hidden inside the seemingly insignificant rock was Ta Shan, After losing contact with Wang Lin, his mind had become blank. But because Celestial Emperor Qing Lin's spell had fused his origin soul into his body, he retained intelligence unlike ordinary puppets. After discovering that Wang Lin had disappeared, Ta Shan instinctively returned to the rock and silently cultivated within it. On this day, he suddenly opened his calm, emotionless eyes, stepped out of the rock, and stood quietly upon it. Ripples suddenly spread before him as Wang Lin emerged from space. Ta Shan's expression remained unchanged, only revealing respect toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin smiled and casually waved his hand. Ta Shan immediately stepped forward, transformed into a shadow, and disappeared behind Wang Lin. Wang Lin then turned his attention to the big-headed boy and Lei Ji. Closing his eyes once more, he searched through the imprint connected to the big-headed boy. After a long search, he frowned because the imprint had become extremely weak, as though it could disappear at any moment. Realizing something had happened, Wang Lin immediately stepped into another ripple and vanished. Elsewhere, Lei Ji was desperately moving through the starry sky, leaving behind a long trail of blood. His enormous body was covered with wounds, and every step caused blood to pour from his injuries. Even more horrifying, deep pits emitting eerie green light covered the 1st through 7th vertebrae along his spine, while dozens of similar green pits appeared at the joints throughout his body. Resting on Lei Ji's shoulder was the pale and gravely injured big-headed boy. His unusually large head made his appearance distinctive, but his life force had become extremely weak. A black handprint emitting a foul stench covered his back, releasing black smoke accompanied by sizzling sounds. The flesh around the handprint had collapsed inward and was rapidly decaying. Only by relying on his own cultivation was he able to remain conscious despite the unbearable pain. The big-headed boy weakly told Lei Ji to leave him behind and escape alone. Black blood flowed from the corner of his mouth, and all light had faded from his eyes. After remaining silent for a moment, Lei Ji increased his speed instead of slowing down. He firmly declared that the big-headed boy had been injured while saving him. And as a member of the giant demon clan, he could never abandon a companion. Even if he did abandon him, their pursuers would never stop because their true target was Lei Ji himself. He ordered the big-headed boy to stop talking and focus on healing. Hearing Lei Ji's determination, the big-headed boy only smiled bitterly while staring into the endless stars. As death gradually approached, he seemed to see his mother from countless years ago. Unlike before, she was not scolding him but gazing at him gently and calling to him. Surrounded by the aura of death, he then saw visions of his family and all the people he had personally killed during his life. They appeared before him one after another, silently staring at him with cold expressions. His body trembled from an overwhelming coldness that spread not only through his flesh but also through his lonely heart. Memories from his childhood continuously surfaced in his mind, thinking that after thousands of years of cultivation he was still destined to die. He felt endless regret. Meanwhile, the foul-smelling black handprint spread further until almost his entire back had turned black. His consciousness gradually faded as his eyes slowly closed under the encroaching darkness. Just before he completely lost consciousness, Lei Ji suddenly roared, telling him to hold on because he believed their master would come and find them. Hearing those words, the big-headed boy's body trembled. He barely managed to open his eyes again, revealed a bitter smile, and quietly responded, "Is that so?" Behind them, two giants each standing 10.000 feet tall relentlessly pursued Lei Ji. Axe-shaped marks flashed between their brows, and their eyes were filled with icy killing intent. Sitting casually atop one of the giants was an exceptionally handsome young man dressed in blue, his handsome face carrying a trace of evil. Instead of sitting cross-legged, he reclined comfortably while leisurely eating red cherries. As he watched Lei Ji flee, his gaze was filled with amusement and determination to obtain his prey. The young man laughed and remarked that no prey within the alliance had ever escaped him. He had only secretly come out despite his family's warnings that the alliance was in chaos because of the Great War. And unexpectedly he had encountered the body of a royal giant demon clan member. He considered himself extremely fortunate, believing that ignoring his elder's warning had allowed him to discover such a valuable body. Still smiling, he spat out a cherry pit. The pit shot through space like a ray of light, instantly catching up to Lei Ji before exploding into a green skull aimed directly at the 8th vertebra on Lei Ji's spine. Just as the green skull was about to strike, a hand suddenly emerged from the void. grabbed the skull, and crushed it into pieces with overwhelming force. Ripples spread through space behind Lei Ji as Wang Lin calmly stepped out. His eyes were filled with icy killing intent as he coldly declared that they truly had the courage to injure both his mount and his servant. Hearing the familiar voice, Lei Ji's entire body trembled as he immediately turned around and shouted excitedly, "Master!" The big-headed boy also suddenly forced open his fading eyes. Seeing Wang Lin standing before them, his face was filled with indescribable joy as he likewise called out, "Master!" Wang Lin stepped out from the spreading spatial ripples without even glancing at the blue-robed youth. His attention was fixed entirely on Lei Ji's injuries and the big-headed boy, who was on the verge of death. When he noticed the black handprint branded on the boy's back, a cold light flashed through his eyes. He reached out, pulled the boy toward him, and pressed his palm against his back, sending an enormous amount of origin energy into the boy's body. The boy's face immediately turned red before he coughed up a mouthful of foul-smelling black blood, releasing part of the poison inside him. Meanwhile, the blue-robed youth leisurely continued eating cherries as though nothing had happened. Leaning back casually, he pointed at Wang Lin and ordered the giant demon clan cultivator, Sun Guzi, to use the body he had possessed to kill the man who had offended him. Sun Guzi respectfully accepted the order, turned toward Wang Lin with a murderous grin, and charged forward. As he moved, he formed a seal, summoning a vast ocean beneath his feet. A giant wave lifted him into the air, and the seawater rapidly gathered into his right hand, transforming into a roaring sea dragon that charged directly at Wang Lin. Wang Lin never removed his right hand from the big-headed boy's back and did not even spare the attack a glance. To him, an early-stage Nirvana scryer cultivator posed no threat, even without relying on his powerful 5-star royal ancient god body. His origin energy cultivation alone was enough to kill such an opponent with ease. The physical strength of the giant demon clan was insignificant compared to the body of an ancient god. Wang Lin simply waved his left hand, releasing an invisible but overwhelming force. Space between him and Sun Guzi crackled violently, as though it were on the verge of shattering. The blue-robed youth narrowed his eyes in surprise and stopped in the middle of biting another cherry. The sea dragon instantly slammed into the invisible force, trembled violently, and let out a miserable roar before being forced backward. Its scales shattered into water one after another until the entire dragon dissolved completely. Sun Guzi was struck by the backlash before he could react. His chest caved in, blood burst from his mouth, and he desperately tried to retreat. Continuous explosions erupted throughout his body, each one spraying blood mist into the air until he became completely drenched in blood. Terror filled his eyes when Wang Lin reached out toward him. He completely lost his composure and desperately shouted for the blue-robed youth to save him. The blue-robed youth immediately crushed the stem of the cherries in his hand. Every cherry exploded, and countless seeds coated in red liquid shot toward Wang Lin. During their flight, the seeds transformed into green skulls emitting sharp, ghostly screams. However, he was already too late. Sun Guzi completely lost control of his body and was dragged irresistibly toward Wang Lin. In an instant he arrived beside him. Wang Lin lightly struck his body, instantly shaking his origin soul out of its flesh. Wang Lin seized the struggling origin soul in his hand, preventing any escape, then kicked the empty giant demon clan body directly into the incoming green skulls. A deafening explosion erupted as the body shattered into countless fragments. But instead of scattering, every fragment was sucked into and completely devoured by the green skulls. From beginning to end, Wang Lin never removed his right hand from the big-headed boy's back. Thick black mist continuously poured from the boy's body as the death aura surrounding him gradually disappeared and was replaced by vitality. Witnessing all this, the blue-robed youth was deeply shaken. He could not understand how someone who appeared to possess only early-stage Nirvana scryer cultivation could effortlessly kill another cultivator of the same level, especially one controlling a giant demon clan body. He immediately demanded Wang Lin's identity. Wang Lin ignored him completely. He pressed his palm onto the big-headed boy's back once more. This time the black handprint unexpectedly came alive. 5 black soul fragments emerged from it, forming a sinister black palm that attempted to devour Wang Lin's hand. Wang Lin remained expressionless. Miserable screams echoed through divine sense as the 5 soul fragments were instantly annihilated. Endless black gas poured out of the boy's back, causing his blood to reverse violently. His body trembled uncontrollably until he spat out another large mass of black blood, which immediately melted away like ice. Within only a few breaths, the deadly curse was completely removed, and Wang Lin finally withdrew his hand. He then turned his cold gaze toward the blue-robed youth and stepped forward. The remaining giant demon clan cultivator immediately retreated without waiting for orders. Fear filled his heart because he knew he was only slightly stronger than Sun Guzi and stood absolutely no chance against someone capable of killing Sun Guzi so effortlessly. The blue-robed youth's expression darkened. He quickly declared that he was an inner disciple of the corpse sect and claimed the entire conflict was merely a misunderstanding. While speaking, he secretly formed a seal, causing green gas to emerge from his body and gather around his right hand until it glowed with eerie green light. Upon hearing the words, corpse sect, Wang Lin's expression changed slightly. Seizing that brief moment of hesitation, the youth immediately unleashed the 5-ghost yin god wheel. 5 rays of green light shot out from his hand, transformed into ferocious ghosts, and then condensed into 5 ghostly green handprints that screamed as they rushed toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin remained calm. With another casual wave of his hand, he generated a powerful gale that instantly shattered every handprint. The 5 ghosts let out miserable screams before being completely destroyed. Wang Lin then stepped forward, clenched his right fist, and threw a merciless punch. The air rumbled violently as an overwhelming storm surged toward the blue-robed youth. Instead of panicking, the youth suddenly pressed both hands onto the giant demon clan cultivator beneath him. The giant revealed a bitter expression before activating the giant demon clan's bloodline ability. His body trembled, a crack opened between his eyebrows, and a ghostly light emerged. Rather than attacking Wang Lin, the light wrapped around the blue-robed youth. At the same time, a mysterious vortex silently appeared behind him, producing no suction at all. The youth immediately stepped into the vortex in preparation to escape. Wang Lin recognized the giant demon clan bloodline ability at once and coldly snorted before throwing another punch even more powerful than the first toward the vortex. At that critical moment, the giant demon clan cultivator reversed all the origin energy within his body, forcing it violently into his origin soul despite the unbearable pain. His origin soul immediately exploded, followed by his entire body. The immense destructive force did not scatter in all directions but instead surged directly toward Wang Lin like a devastating storm, attempting to delay him while the escaped vortex slowly disappeared. Standing inside the fading vortex, the blue-robed youth sneered coldly and declared that he would discover Wang Lin's identity and that anyone who provoked the corpse sect would eventually die. Wang Lin's expression remained calm. As the destructive force closed in, he casually slapped his storage bag. The long-unused third god-slaying war chariot immediately flew out, and with a thunderous bang, it transformed into a magnificent 5-colored butterfly.